Laura, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, education is not a factory assembly line. It is the ignition of a soul. Without motivation, a classroom is simply a room full of bodies and books. We know that the brain's neurochemistry, specifically the release of dopamine, is tied directly to the desire to learn. When educational departments prioritize motivation, they aren't just making kids feel good. They are optimizing the biological conditions for retention and critical thinking. Motivation is the bridge between having to learn and wanting to learn. Without it, we produce graduates who have certificates but no curiosity.
John, my colleague paints a beautiful picture, but I fear it's a mirage. I argue that the obsession with motivation in educational departments is a dangerous distraction. By focusing on keeping students excited, we have inadvertently lowered the bar for rigor. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. If a student only studies when they feel motivated, they will fail the moment life gets difficult. Education's primary goal should be discipline, not inspiration. We are training minds to endure the boredom of mastery, not chasing the high of a motivational speech.
The rebuttal. Inspiration versus habit. Laura, John, you're conflating motivation with entertainment. True intrinsic motivation is the very thing that builds discipline. A student who is motivated by a deep-seated why, perhaps a dream of becoming a surgeon or an engineer, will endure those long hours of boredom far better than a student who is simply being disciplined by a fear of a failing grade. If departments don't foster a sense of purpose, they are building a house on sand. You cannot discipline someone into being a visionary.
John, but Laura, look at the data. We see a rise in grade inflation and gamification in schools, all in the name of keeping students motivated. We've turned learning into a dopamine-chasing app. When these students enter the real world, where there are no level-up badges or encouraging stickers, they crumble. By prioritizing motivation, we are infantilizing the intellect. We should be teaching them that the work is the reward, regardless of how they feel about it on a Tuesday morning. And yet,
The deep dive,
motivation is
the
a
role
luxury.
of the educator.
What about the
Laura,
student who comes
that
from
is
a
a cold
background
view
where
of the human
survival is the
experience,
priority?
John.
If
An
we tell them
educator's
they
role
must
is to
find
be
their
a
passion
catalyst.
to succeed,
Think of the
we fail
greatest
them.
minds in history,
Discipline is the
Einstein,
great
Curie,
equalizer.
Montessori.
It doesn't
They
care
weren't
if you're
driven by
tired,
rote discipline
sad,
alone.
or uninspired.
They were driven by an
It
obsessive,
only cares that you
burning
do the work.
motivation to solve
Educational
a puzzle.
departments
If our
should focus
departments
on
ignore
creating
the emotional
robust
state of the
systems of
student,
accountability.
we are treating
Let the
humans like
motivation come
hardware.
later,
A
as a
motivated
byproduct
student
of the
learns
competence
faster,
they've earned
retains
through
more,
blood,
and most
sweat,
importantly,
and tears.
continues to learn long after
Moderator,
the
a
graduation
powerful
ceremony
display
is
from
over.
both
Powerful
sides.
display from
It
both
seems the
sides.
truth may lie
It
somewhere
seems
in
the
the
truth
balance
may
of a
lie
motivated
somewhere in the
heart and a
balance of a
disciplined
motivated
mind.
heart and a disciplined mind.